Acho, I know you're ready. Who won the trade? Sixers, Nets?
Sixers absolutely won the trade. You don't have to listen to all the basketball jargon. You don't have to listen to all the statistical jargon. You just have to assess one thing. The Sixers acquired a player who wants to win and wants to win immediately, wants to win so bad that he forced his way out of a situation with one of the greatest scorers of all time, maybe two of the greatest scorers of all time, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, so that he can go to a place where he can play basketball. Yeah. So the Sixers acquired a player who wants to play basketball and wants to play it at a high level and wants to win yesterday. The Nets got rid of a player because of his lack of desire to play basketball, at least for that organization. Two pivotal differences of the players they have acquired. Ben Simmons did not want to play for the 76ers. Obviously, he has been going through and wrestling with a lot of different mental health issues. Ben Simmons does not want to play basketball, at least for the Sixers. So the Sixers got rid of a player who doesn't necessarily want to play basketball right now, at least in their opinion. And instead, they acquired a player who both wants to play, but more importantly, wants to win, and wants to win at the highest level in James Harden. Sixers won this deal, man. We also have to talk about this. James Harden is a walking bucket. I mean, dude is a walking, I can give you 30, I can give you 40 on any given night. Plus, you got Tobias Harris, a walking bucket. Plus, Joel Embiid is having the greatest season of his career, averaging 30 and 11. You cannot get better than that. We can talk about the basketball of it all. We can talk about how Embiid is one of the...
basketball, of course.
But I'm saying we don't have to talk about the statistics of the basketball. We can talk about the stats. We can talk about how Embiid, one of the best bigs, especially down low in the low post in Shaq. But now you bring in Harden, who can also play iso ball if he needs to. He can space the floor out more for Embiid. We can talk about all that. But to me, that's secondary.
Okay.
That's not as big an issue of the Sixers just acquired one of the greatest scorers of the generation, and you have one of the greatest bigs right now of the generation playing the best he has played of his career. Sixers absolutely won the deal, and I don't even need to look at or talk about the Nets.
Okay. So you want to just race and just celebrate the Sixers winning this trade, right? When I want to sit there as the old wise one, just think of me as Yoda in this moment. I'm like, slow down, young man. Slow down, young Jedi. Because who won this trade? That's yet to be determined, yet to be declared. I'll give it to you like this. I give it to you in track and field. I give it to you in NASCAR. I give it to you one of my favorite sports I never talk about, horse racing. Not because of gambling. I just like looking at horses. Something about horses that get to me. And you know what I noticed in all those sports? There's an unofficial winner. As soon as it's over, it's an unofficial winner. Now, in track, it happens fast, especially if it's no photo finish. You're just like, all right, day one. But in terms of what you put down in record keeping, be careful of crowning the champion too soon. Be careful of crowning who won this trade too soon. Why? Because it's so obvious, conventional wisdom. It looks like the Sixers won because you get a full James Harden added to Joel Embiid, and then all of a sudden James Harden reunited with Daryl Morey, even though that didn't turn out so well. But anyway, you get that all connected. Look at that, amazing. But here's the problem. Look at this other side. Look at when Kevin Durant comes back. Kyrie Irving in his half play, half not play, whatever he's going through. Let's just say he only plays half the time. Okay. And then you get Ben Simmons, who's the wild card. You know why he's the wild card? Because you don't know what a full potential Ben Simmons looks like. Will he come back still in his feelings like he was in Philadelphia? That's the reason why he's now with the Brooklyn Nets. Will he come back agitated, motivated, fully activated? Will he become better than the young version that he was already good at? Would he learn some tricks of the trade, some tricks of the craft from Kevin Durant? Who's a better shooting coach as an active player than Kevin Durant when you see Ben Simmons in practice now? And this team already got better defensively. All last year, I heard you and Slick Rick DeBucher tell me what the Brooklyn Nets going to do on the other half of the court when they have to play defense. Well, that's already been fixed. Now, their offensive issues, their chemistry issues, we'll talk through that as we layer this. But it just reminds me of the scene in Colors, big dog. When you just want to run down and go get one of them, let's slow this down a little bit. Walk down and get it all. I think Ben Simmons is going to take this slow, pragmatic approach and potentially win this trade.
Well, first off, Sal, I'm upset at you. I'm very upset at you.
Because of last night?
No, you didn't hit me back.
I did hit you back. You didn't hit me back.
You're right. I'm upset at you for a couple reasons.
What?
Let's go back a year ago. You were telling me that the Nets are a team to beat. You were telling me that this trio could not be stopped. You were telling me that this trio was going to win a chip, if not multiple chips. And this trio played 16 games together. 16 games is all we saw from these three. So that's the first problem.
Okay.
That's why I'm upset at you. We can talk about that during commercial break.
I was wrong.
But right here, right now, the Nets are in all types of a bind. Ben Simmons was already offensively inept. Already, and we know that. And there's not necessarily a huge issue with that, depending on what team you have. Because Ben Simmons is a walking triple-double. Since he's entered the league, fourth in triple-doubles behind the likes of LeBron James, Luka, if I'm not mistaken, etc. So Ben Simmons is a walking triple-double. But Kyrie's a ball-dominant player, big dog, with Brooklyn. And if Ben Simmons is supposed to run point, but Kyrie's a ball-dominant point, Ben Simmons, what you about to be doing? Because I hope you're not about to be a glorified Tayshaun Prince. Now, Tayshaun Prince obviously played a role. Y'all remember the great Tayshaun.
You better put some respect on Compton.
No doubt about it.
Okay,
but I hope you're not about to be, all of a sudden, Ben Simmons, #1, top tier, top flight draft pick, and now all we're going to do is say, well, at least he's a great defensive player. We didn't pay Ben Simmons $180 million to be a lockdown defensive player. You can find that for significantly cheaper. So if all we are now going to do is brag about, well, the Nets just got them a lockdown defender in the backcourt. Congratulations. We could have found a lockdown defender in the backcourt for the cheap. But is Ben Simmons about to run around and just be a catch-and-shoot guy? Oh, wait. Ben Simmons can't shoot. So now what role is Ben Simmons going to play on this Nets offense? Because you know Kyrie's ball dominant. Kyrie got to get his. You know KD can get his. KD can be ball dominant if he needs to. KD can come up, spot up, and shoot. You knew he could do that. James Harden, it worked to a degree because James Harden can play iso ball. But what is Ben Simmons' ability now going to be on offense? Because I hope, and I pray that you not only going to brag about Ben Simmons because of all he can do on defense, because that is now going to be the highest paid defensive player in the NBA.
Look, what stopped this team from fully realizing its potential was a big toe, was injuries. And we're going to talk about this in detail, but big toe injuries, pandemic. We'll get into that later. I just want you to understand the framework in which I'm dealing with. Now, let's talk about how you, Emmanuel Acho, former professional football player, current broadcaster and host, also best-selling author, and now has a greater future in politics because you are talking out both sides of your mouth. Politician, you are Acho. You tell me that, Ben Simmons, who is Ben Simmons? He's a guy who didn't want to play. And then all of a sudden just caught an attitude and got himself out of there. And then you praise James Harden. Well, just a year or so ago, who was James Harden? Anybody? A guy who didn't want to play, who caught an attitude and got himself out of Houston. Oh, okay. So now it's a negative, but then it's a positive.
I didn't praise Harden for leaving. You remember that? I lambasted Harden for leaving.
Are you praising him now?
I'm praising the Nets. I'm praising the Sixers.
Yeah, you're praising the Sixers. Well, then good. I'm going to praise the Nets because they received something that you thought was a negative that turned into a positive. James Harden.
I'll wait.
Okay, well, I told you to stay at that mountain and walk down and get them all. Now you learn it. Start waiting. You're the same guy that told me, when James Harden, what are you going to do with Kyrie, man? You know, Kyrie's ball dominated, and then James Harden, it ain't going to work.
And it didn't,
sir. Hold on.
It did not.
Hold on. 13-3 when they played together. All
this
three
is not
of them.
an NFL season.
I know, you're right.
You're right. You look at the NFL record.
No, last year it was. Not this year. You need another game, brother. 17. Here's the thing. You can't go there because look at this team. You're now accusing Ben Simmons of the same things that are now things that you're crediting James Harden with. It worked somehow, some way with ball-dominant Kyrie and James Harden. We didn't know how it was going to work, but then everyone looked up like, yo, it's working. Injuries, everything else came into play. It will work as well with Ben Simmons. Now, his shooting woes, I think they're as mental as they are technique. And I don't know how to fix them, but I'm certain if there's anybody in the NBA who could fix them, it's the Kevin Durant.
We got to stop down right here, right now. Kevin Durant has not proven to go somewhere and fix everything around him.
Really?
Kevin
He
Durant,
didn't fix Golden State?
No, sir.
They didn't win a championship before he got there.
Kevin Durant went to something that was fixed.
No, it wasn't.
And he enabled it to be
73
better.
wins in the loss?
73 wins is fixed, sir. An NBA
that's
record for
fixed?
most wins
Did
in a
they win
season
it all?
fixed.
Did they win it all?
LeBron James.
Did they win it?
LeBron James.
Did they win it all?
LeBron James.
That's a no. So he fixed something.
He did not fix anything. It was not broken.
Okay. Well, why they go get him? Why they beg him? And then you sound like a Chief fan right now. Oh, well, you're not broke with dog. You had one championship, and I'm not slighting it. But then you win the most regular season games ever and couldn't finish the deal. And then you go begging them, Hampton 5, right? So let's not get into that because that's not this conversation. All I want you to understand is everything that you're criticizing Ben Simmons for, now you criticize James Harden for it then, but now you're praising James Harden for it now.
Let me clarify any confusion, America. I apologize.
Politics.
I'm not praising James Harden for how he got out of Houston. I never have, I never will, and I'm not doing that today. I'm not going to let you distract from the message I am preaching. What I am praising is the Sixers squad now because they are the winner of the trade. I don't like how James Harden got out of Houston. We will talk about that in 30 minutes.
And did he
I
respond?
think it undermined his legacy.
Yeah, but did he rebound? Did he respond? Why can't Ben Simmons do that? And that's all I said. Wait and see.
He can, but you got to understand that these will, even if Ben Simmons does in fact rebound, what's rebounding look like? Being a great defender, giving you 15.7 points a game, what does rebounding look like? Because when I look at the Nets squad and the Nets squad of what do they need? Yes, we know they need a defense. But how are they going to undermine themselves on offense because of Ben Simmons? If Kyrie is ball dominant, he's scoring. If Harden is ball dominant, he's scoring. If KD is ball dominant, he's scoring. What is Ben Simmons' role going to be on offense? Hey, bring the ball up and then pass to Kyrie. Kyrie is the guy who does that. He don't need you, Ben Simmons, to bring the ball up and pass to him. He can bring the ball up himself and keep the rock himself the whole time. I'm just wondering what Ben Simmons is going to be doing on offense. He's going to be like that lost kid on a playground park at recess when you just fall. And ain't nobody trying to pass him the rock because he knows and everybody knows he can't score with it.
Okay, let's not do that to Ben Simmons. Let's not compare him to Kyrie Irving, who can do everything on the basketball court.
Yes, sir.
Who is a magic wand on the basketball court. Maybe the most skilled basketball player ever.
No doubt about it.
Please don't do that to Ben Simmons. Please put Ben Simmons in the proper scope. Ben Simmons, one of only 4 players in his career so far, his 4 seasons, averaging over 15, over 7, and over 1.5 steals. That means you're getting some form of balance from him. But in transition, no one's better than 6'10" Ben Simmons going rim to rim. Now, you can get other guys who can do it as well, and they got Kyrie Irving, so they're going to be like, maybe we don't need that. But this is something that you can supplement what Kyrie Irving does in terms of Ben Simmons. His issue is obviously shooting. His issue is going to be stop and pop. He can't do that,
of course,
right now. But what he can do is already contribute defensively by stature alone. Now, we've already cured half our ills because we're better defensively. The other half offensively, let's just be real. The magic wand of Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, do you really want to mess with that in the first place?
But still,
so now we just plug and play you when we need you.
You went from having 2.5 offensive players. We say a half because Kyrie Irving, we all know, cannot play home games. You went from having 2.5 offensive players to having 1.5 offensive players. Now, if you want to count Seth Curry as a great half, obviously Seth Curry giving us 15 points a game this season, shooting 40% from 3, and you know in the playoffs he came up big for the Sixers last year. If you want to count Steph Curry as another half, sure. But either way, the Nets went from having 2.5 dominant scorers, James Harden, Kevin Durant, and half Kyrie Irving because he can only play half the time, to having now 1.5 dominant scorers, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. Keep in mind, KD be hurt. Ever since he got hurt,
and Joel Embiid don't be hurt.
At least
you like
not
that English?
This and the last one. But even when
James Harden don't be fatigued in the playoffs? Come on, dog, let's not play this. Joel Embiid has a mental, and James Harden has a mental hurdle to get over. Matthew Stafford kind of level. All right? Being real. Physically, Joel Embiid looks like he's overcome what his past looks like. Looks like. But big men, be careful how much you are relying on their health and dependability. Him and James Harden, who's had his issues of fatigue, You're now acting like this is a guarantee that this team is going to be able to do it when they need to do it most.
I'm not saying it is a guarantee. We will also talk about who's more likely to win a chip first later. That's what you call the T's and TV.
Is the Super Bowl happening this weekend?
I'm not saying it's a guarantee by any stretch of the imagination, but what I am saying is if you have a 5-seeded Sixers team who just got one of the best scorers of the generation, who just got a MVP caliber player, particularly on offense, clearly they are going to be better than a 8-seeded Nets team that did not improve offensively at all whatsoever and probably got worse offensively in an offensive league.
But got better defensively.
Sure.
They've lost 9 of the last 10. That was before Ben Simmons. Like, I don't know if that's tanking or that's just James Harden like, I'm good, I'm out of here, I'm pulling another Houston tantrum. Whatever it is, they lost 9 of their last 10, and we know damn well this team is better than that. I don't want to do this, but Ben Simmons deserves some props in this moment right now. Now, you know I got issues with Ben Simmons, but I got to keep it 100, too. He's only played 4 seasons. Three-time All-Star.
No doubt about it.
2-time All-Defensive.
Yes, sir.
1-time All-NBA.
No question.
Steals leader.
Yes, sir.
Now, here's the thing. I told you he's one of only 4 players. 15, 7 assists, 1.5 steals. Listen to this. Also one of only 4 players, 15, 8 rebounds, and shooting over 55%. What you're getting is almost like a Swiss Army knife. And obviously, his greatest issue is shooting. But his greatest strength is also stature and defense on a team that needed some help with their defense. All right, now I'm going to go here. I proclaim right now.
Stop with your proclamation.
Okay,
you're wrong with that last proclamation.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
You got a Swiss Army knife with a dull blade. But here's the thing I understand. Here is why you think this will work.
Dull blade.
Because you like tacos with ketchup. And so you like things that naturally we know are not supposed to be combined. As a man who likes tacos with ketchup, I understand how you like Ben Simmons with Kevin Durant.
Oh, we doing this.
I understand how you like Ben Simmons with Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
I understand how you like that combination because that combination is not supposed to be combined. But I am not a man that likes tacos with ketchup.
Okay.
Because that makes no sense to me. I understand combinations that are supposed to work. I understand combinations that are palpable, both within the digestive system and on the NBA court. So as a tacos and ketchup kind of guy, you make that make sense.
Okay, now I'm going to break you down till you broke. Do you like hamburgers?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you like ketchup on your hamburger?
No doubt about it.
Okay. You like that Burger King, huh? Ketchup. Okay. And I wonder what a hamburger consists of. Like a taco. Has lettuce, right?
Yes, sir.
You like ketchup with your lettuce, though, huh? Yeah, it's okay. Oh, with a hamburger you do. Tomatoes. You like a ketchup with your tomato, even though it's redundant, but you like it, right? Cheese. Oh, yeah, I take that. Same in the taco. Ground beef. Same as the taco. What the hell you talking about? Oh, the bun versus a tortilla is your issue right there. Boy, you better get out of me. They're the same damn thing.